All right, guys, let's talk about this here. This is truly incredible. So, as you all know, the issue that Trump polled the highest just before the election was actually immigration. And look, my theory as to why he polled highest on this issue is very simply that they have a narrative. The right has a story about politics. Now, the story is dead wrong, factually, objectively, but they repeated their story so often that it made it the default perspective of a lot of people in the country. Namely, hey, I know you're struggling. I sympathize with the fact that you're struggling, but let me tell you who's to blame. You have to blame trans people, you have to blame liberal elites, but most importantly, you have to blame immigrants. They're the problem. Now, here's 5,000 made-up fucking bullshit facts about how immigrants are ruining your life, and be mad at them, be mad at them, be mad at them. Oh, you didn't get a raise? Be mad at them. Oh, you lost your job? Be mad at them. Oh, you're struggling? Be mad at them. Oh, you got medical bills you can't pay? Be mad at them. This is the whole story he drove home, and Trump would, every rally, would come back to immigrants suck. Now, here's the thing. All that's made up. Immigrants and trans people and liberals, like these are all scapegoats that the right uses. When the reality is, the real enemy that we face, it's the billionaire class. It's the multinational corporations. It's the donors. It's the corruption. And it's the fascists who are ruining lives right now. Okay? Those are the real enemies. Well, guess what? Trump has not even been in there that long. It hasn't even been a year. And we have a new poll on immigration. Guess what? Take a look. Americans' views on immigration's effect on the U.S. We now have a literal record high. 79% of Americans say immigration is a good thing. Only 17% say it's a bad thing. 17%. So, now let me be clear. It does depend on how you ask the question, the numbers you get, and this is why polls can sometimes be misleading, because you could bias a question just by the way you frame it and the way you ask the question. So, for full disclosure, there was another poll that when you ask Americans, should immigration stay the same, be increased or decreased, the number one answer was actually decrease, and it was 60% of Americans that say decrease, right? So, according to that poll, it's like, okay, Americans are anti-immigration. According to this poll, they're very pro-immigration. But the bottom line is this, though. Yes, is there contradictory information out there? Yes. But is there reason to believe that the American people are open to pro-immigration arguments? Yes. And this is my message for the Democratic Party, is stop just giving in. Stop letting the right dictate the terms, and then you're playing catch up and you agree with them and give in to them. Have your own ideology. Have your own belief system. And the fact of the matter is this. Immigrants are some of the best of us, bro. I don't know about you guys, but me personally in my life, I've known a lot of immigrants, and the immigrants are some of the hardest working people I've ever met, some of the biggest family people I've ever met, some of the best in terms of their values, the loyalty that they show, the friendship that they show. These people truly have a value set that really represents what the best of America is, what the best of us are. So actually make a positive argument for immigration, because people are waiting to fucking hear it. You should have been defending them endlessly as they were attacked, as if they're the source of this country's problems when they have no money, they have no power. They didn't cause the fucking problems. The problems were caused by the billionaires and the political corruption. The problem is caused by the fucking far-right fascist conservatives who have been ruining this country. Okay, so 79% say immigration's a good thing. Only 17% are against it. That's amazing. That's amazing. And that, again, why is this happening? Well, it's happening because people realize, oh shit, our lives aren't getting better. At the same time, Trump is cracking down on the immigrants. Wait, I thought my life sucked because of the immigrants. That's what you told me. Then why is inflation going up? Why is unemployment going up? Why is the economy bad? Why are we not doing well? And at the same time, I turn on the TV at night and the news shows you just rounded up more immigrants and sent them to a concentration camp. You sent them to Guantanamo Bay or Alligator Auschwitz or fucking Seacot in El Salvador. You're doing all that. You're raiding fucking Home Depot parking lots. But my life still sucks. Oh, I see. They're not the problem, are they? They're not. That was a load of shit, a crock of shit they fed you. All right, but we're not done. So remember that the song, the Hispanic song, I Will Vote for Donald Trump, that became like an anthem for Hispanic conservatives in the 2024 election. Well, guess what just happened to a family member of the woman who sang that song? Watch.
It's been happening frequently at the 333 Miami Avenue Federal Court building. Janet Correa's husband was detained this week. According to her immigration lawyer, he has already been placed on expedite removal.
That's unfair. It is unfair. I'm so sorry. I can't talk.
Let me ask you.
I'm going to say that to my mom. My mom has a bad time.
Yudelka Mejia cannot believe she's going back home without her nephew, 29-year-old Yasael Almonte Mejia. Like many other immigrants, when their case is dismissed, they are detained at the hallway.
So, at least according to this report, the woman who sang the song, "I Will Vote for Donald Trump," her husband and nephew are being detained by immigration. Look, I can't say this any clearer, but the fact of the matter is, if you are any kind of a minority, I don't care what kind of minority you are, if you're any kind of minority in this country, bro, you are not on the team to these Republicans, to MAGA. You are not on the team. Cubans they vote overwhelmingly Republican. They fled Castro and communism, so they want to go as far right as possible. They've always been Republican. They come here, they vote for Trump. They sing about that shit. They're all happy. Then boom, now he's deporting massive numbers of Cubans. What'd you learn? Oh, that's right. You weren't invited into whiteness by MAGA and the Republicans. They look at you like they look at any other Hispanic person. They don't give a fuck that you're Republican when push comes to shove. And by the way, what happened? Nick Fuentes the other week, what did he say? Oh, our white liberal brothers and sisters, they've just gone astray, and we need to convince them to think more like us, but they're with us. So me, a hardcore lefty, is more welcome to these MAGA fascist freaks than you are, even though you fucking agree with 90% of their policies, right? So understand you're not on the team. If you're any kind of minority, you're what's on the menu, okay? So don't show up to the dinner because you're on the menu. But they think, oh yeah, I'm going to sit there and I'll be in high society with these people. They don't like you. They never did. They never will. Get it through your head. How about this for a new poll? This is from NBC. Do you prefer a politician, they asked Americans this, do you prefer a politician who is an insider with experience needed to get things done, or an outsider who wants to shake things up and change the system? Because of Trump and how horrific he's been, that has now become 58% want an insider, only 42% want an outsider. Bro, are you kidding me? Trump has been so horrific. People are going, where's the establishment? I love the establishment. I love our institutions. I love standard politicians who are inauthentic, who believe in nothing. Please bring back those people, because at least they're serious bureaucrats who don't blow shit up for the sake of blowing shit up. This is how bad he's been. Bro. That's amazing to me. Because look, the reality of the situation is this, and I would really press this point for people, but Trump actually is an insider. And Trump does have experience. He was president already for 4 years. And he's a billionaire. Like, he is the ultimate billionaire class warrior, insider, elitist, establishment type. He is. I know he pretends like he's an outsider. He's not, okay? The fact of the matter is, we need an outsider who wants to shake things up and change the system, but who wants to actually help you. Trump wants to hurt you. So I don't even agree with the majority of the people, but I get where this sentiment comes from, because in their mind, they think, oh, Trump was an outsider and he fucking ruined everything, so give me the insiders back. That's incredible. That is a sea change in American politics if I've ever seen it. All right, more. Ready for this? So remember, I believe Trump got 46% of the Hispanic vote in 2024. 46%. Look at these new numbers. Generic ballot polling among Hispanics. This is from YouGov. Democrat, 49%. Republican, 31%. So in other words, it used to be 46% of Hispanics supported Trump and Republicans. Now that's all the way down to 31%. Bro, he collapsed. You know what other group he collapsed with? Young people, particularly young men. They are not buying what he's selling anymore. That's another one. I mean, shit, he collapsed 30 points, 40 points, 50 points, some ridiculous number with young people. Harry Enton talks a little bit about this. Watch.
I do see something of a pattern. Sometimes we lose the forest for the trees, but I want to look at the forest, and it is one ugly duckling forest that we're looking at for Donald Trump. You know, look at this. Negative net approval rating for some. You know, we talk about one poll, the CBS News poll. We talk about another poll, the NBC News poll. Nuh-uh. Look at the aggregate polls, and look how long Donald Trump's net approval rating has been negative. It has been every day since March 12th in the average of polls. We're talking about 181 days in a row in which Donald Trump has been underwater swimming with the fishes. There is no good data for Donald Trump when looking at the aggregate and looking overall. He has been negative for a very long period of time, the vast majority of his second presidency.
What about the issues?
Okay, what about the issues? You see this here, right? Is there any shining light? Is there any light at the end of the tunnel? Well, look at the issues. Look at this. These are all the key issues. Donald Trump is underwater on all of them. Trade, obviously, tariffs have been a big thing at the bottom of your list, minus 17 points. The economy, which was the reason he was elected to a second term to fix the economy, way underwater at minus 14 points. Foreign policy, minus 12. And then I think, Mr. John Berman, the key two issues at the top, because these have been Donald Trump's strongest issues, crime and immigration. But get this. He is now underwater on both of these issues, if barely, but he's underwater on crime at -2, immigration at -3. On all the key issues, he is again swimming with the fishes. Consistency across the board.
It is interesting, though, because the difference here does explain why even with these jobs numbers, which were historically bad on Friday, this is what he's focused on today. He'd rather be talking about this than this.
Absolutely.
All right, what about with key groups that may have influenced his election victory?
Okay, so, we talked about right at the top that every day since March 12th, what has changed since February in terms of making Donald Trump go from the positive side of the ledger to the negative side of the ledger? And this, of course, I think is so important. Two key groups that were so important to getting Donald Trump a second term. He did so much better than the traditional Republican among those under the age of 30 and Hispanics. Look at this. In February, among those under the age of 30, his net approval rating, according to CBS News, plus 2 points. Look at where we are now. Negative 30 points. That's a 32-point move in the wrong direction. And Hispanics, he was 6 points underward. Look at this. Minus 34 points. That's a 28-point move since February. No wonder Donald Trump's in trouble. He's steady across the board. And since February, when he was last positive, he's only gotten significantly worse among two very key groups for his election back last year.
If this sticks, it'll be interesting to see how it impacts some of these districts, especially in Texas in the midterms.
I got a feeling we'll be talking more about that down the line.
So look, all I have to say is this. To Democrats out there, look at these numbers. Now, I understand that they decided, hey, let's not say anything. Let's shut the fuck up and let's move to the background and let these idiots hang themselves. I get that they decided that. And you know what? With that strategy, I still think the Democrats, assuming we have free and fair elections, will win the next elections. I think that's true. However, here's the problem with that way of thinking. Do you want to win by 2 points or do you want to win by 18 points? Because if you start fighting, if you start hammering this guy, there is no fucking prayer for these Republicans. No prayer. Look at how low they are, and you guys have been fucking MIA. Now imagine if you took these issues where you know he's unpopular and you rub that bitch in some more, right? Rub it in. And let the American people know, look at this. You fucking support this? You can't support this. Are you crazy? This guy may have took hundreds of millions of dollars from Saudi Arabia. This guy took $100 million from Miriam Adelson, and he's letting Israel steal the West Bank. This guy's, he made $160 million from foreign countries as president, made $3.4 billion from crypto bullshit. His son-in-law Jared took $2 billion from Saudi Arabia. He's selling watches for $100K and NFTs, and he has a crypto exchange and trading cards and all this shit. Nobody's ever seen a more corrupt guy than Trump. And he's not even close to helping you. Are you kidding me? This is a guy, he killed an increase in overtime pay for millions of people. He killed the $15 minimum wage for federal contractors. That's something that Biden got us, and Trump got rid of it. He opposes the PRO Act. He opposes a minimum wage increase. He destroyed the NLRB with anti-union picks. He destroyed the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau with Elon Musk. That's like the one agency making sure you don't get ripped off by big financial corporations. He outsourced 200,000 jobs in his first term. It's going to be way more in his second term. So far, he's killed at least 115,000 factory jobs in his second term. His tax bill raises taxes on the bottom 90% and cuts them for billionaires. He's cutting Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. Like, nobody has ever hurt you and this country more than him. Imagine you had Democrats. What the fuck is he doing? Why are you bombing Venezuela? They weren't going to attack us. What are you talking about? There was no hint of that. And you're making up, oh, we're going after narco-terrorists. No. They say, get this, they say Maduro is the head of Tren de Aragua. If you believe that, you have the IQ of a goldfish. No, scratch that. You have the IQ of a dead goldfish. It's incredible. So they want to steal Greenland, steal Panama, attack Mexico, attack Venezuela. They already bombed a fucking dinghy fishing boat and killed 11 civilians, violating international law. They bombed Iran, bombed Yemen, bombed Somalia. They're doing all that. Meanwhile, how's your life going? When did you get a raise last? I saw your healthcare premium went up 18%. This is what so if you have Democrats who fucking fight and point these things out, oh my God, they'd be so cooked. They'd be so cooked. The fact that immigration, his number one issue, now he's massively underwater. I know they said it was like only -2 or -3, whatever it was, but I just showed you that other poll. 79% say immigrants are a good thing for this country. Why aren't you screaming about that? You got to fight. You can't just let him hang himself. He is going to hang himself, but you could hang him 80 feet higher if you just fucking start fighting and start pointing out the reality of the situation. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.